Hi everyone, Tuesday the 30th of January 2024, quick preview, but before that, you remember I mentioned last week, or some of you will remember I mentioned last week, the 5,000 metre indoor races in Boston, which I think there were 5 people broke, in the men's race, broke 13 minutes across 2 races because they tried to even up the 2 races, which I sort of understand because there have been a huge number of top class runners in one race otherwise, and if you're in a train, probably about 4 seconds difference between the front and the back, so you can see they tried to even up the 2 races. But I was just going to say, they're actually on YouTube under Flow Sports, so you can actually look back and watch those, including a couple of Brits in Sam Atkin and George Mills breaking 13 minutes. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about it. I know others are the same. It seems a bit of a shame. There's one track in the world you've got to go to get a time and get the right race. But that seems to be the way of the world at the moment. I much prefer to see meaningful head-to-head races going on and who's beating who, with rather than fast times necessarily. But there you go. That's well, no, it's not just me. It's quite a few people, but that's the way of top class athletics these days, unfortunately. So that's that. Just looking forward now this week. Tonight, which is Tuesday, there's European meetings starting to crop up all over the place, and I can't possibly keep pace with them all and see who's racing here, there, and everywhere. I know this isn't on Eurosport. It's a Strava in the Czech Republic. There's an indoor meeting, which is always good. From Brit's point of view, there's an 800 with Dan Rowden in and a 1500 with Callum Elson in. The Distance Project, as he is on YouTube, worth a follow for Callum, and he's going to throw his hat into the ring trying to get fast times to go to perhaps the World Indoors and get the Olympic qualifying this year. He's stated that. Good to see somebody with that sort of attitude just goes for it. So good luck to them. And then looking forward to the rest of the week. I know a lot of people's eyes will be on the British Universities and Colleges Bucks Cross Country Championships, which take place at Temple Newsam, Leeds on Saturday. First race is 11:15. They have a short course for women and then men at 12:15, on the hour, every hour basically. Then long course for women at 1:15 and the men at 2:15. Very difficult to know who's going to be racing, although the likes of Cambridge University, Birmingham have put their teams out on Instagram. Like in Birmingham's case, they got Will Barnicoat and Toma Tarragano in there, who should be really up to the fore. Cambridge got Jeremy Dempsey on the men's. Cambridge have got Phoebe Barker. I don't know that Neve Princeton Hubbard will be running because she really turned her ankle over badly at the recent London International race at Parliament Hill. Birmingham should be led by Amelia Quirk in their team. And fascinating looking back at last year's results. I mean, this is the Bucks cross country, bearing it in mind. There was Mohammed won it from Matt Stonia and Joe Wigfield on the men's, and then it shows how much again it changes in a year. Alex Millard won it, the women's, from Amelia Quirk, Abby Donnelly, who was fourth in the European cross country championships, and then Megan Keith was fifth, and she won the European under-23 championships just before Christmas. So a lot changes in the year. Be interesting to see how many turn up. I know Alex Millard probably unlikely because of what I'm going to talk about next. But I don't think I'm going to get up to Leeds. It's a long old journey for me, and I've got a busy weekend otherwise. So I'm not sure there's even a live stream, but we'll look out for that. It'd be nice if there was somewhere. Then on Sunday, turn our attention abroad. We've got the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix at Boston. Quite a few Brits running over there. 800 metres, we've got Ellie Baker and Izzy Boffey. We've got 1500 metres with Jake Whiteman, which is probably the most interesting of all of the individual Brits that are running to see how Jake's getting on. I assume he's in decent shape, otherwise he wouldn't be taking this on. Tom Keane, who's been training with Jake a lot over the last few weeks, is also in that 1500. And then there's 3000s. The men's race has Neil Gourley and James West. I know James has been a bit under the weather recently, so hopefully he's okay. And the women's 3000 got quite a few. Alex Millard, who I mentioned, is doing that. Amy Pratt, Hannah Nuttall, Melissa Courtney Bryant and Izzy Fry. So that's pretty loaded with New Balance sponsored athletes in there. That is between 2:30 and 6 p.m. local time in Boston, which is 5 hours behind the UK, so 7:30 to 10 p.m. I haven't been able to find coverage yet, but look out for that. Could be on YouTube or something. Yeah, it's a shame. It's not easier to pick up these things, but that would be worth a watch because it's quite a reasonable time as far as an American meeting is concerned on Sunday. As far as I'm concerned, as I speak, I'm probably going to go to the Southeast Schools Inter-Counties Cross Country on Saturday at Ardingly, and I will be at the Southern Indoor Championships on Sunday at Lee Valley. And I've got to say, on finishing, I went to the South of England Cross Country Championships at the weekend, and to be fair, it was the best one of the last 3 years at Beckenham. It seemed to get good support from runners. There was loads of people there and supporters. When you actually looked at the crowds, pretty good interest in all the races. Good spectator course, well marked out, all went to plan, results out quickly. So yeah, we give the southern counties a bit of a knocking sometimes, but it looks like all the volunteers involved in that did a really good job to put on a good championships. So probably not so great if you come from Cornwall, but you know, for quite a few of us around London, it was a great venue. So well done there. That's about it. That's all I've got this week.